poles from Safe and Happy Trails. Morning, Daryl.
Daryl.
No, it's not.
Wasn't on. Told you I always forget. So I can remember when Sandy's up here, but not when I'm up. So I want to take the opportunity to talk about this philanthropic donation, but also to give you a quick update on a trail lighting pilot project. So this particular donation, I guess the story of this donation started back in September of 2017 when a young lady was on our trail system and was brutally attacked. The guy was riding on a bicycle, attacked her. She dialed 911. Attacker took the phone, threw it in the river before 911 could ping the location. At that point, she could make contact with no one. She was strangled, beat unconscious numerous times, brutally assaulted, and managed to live through it somehow. She channeled all of that emotion, all those feelings into energy and a desire to make things better. So she created a nonprofit called Safe and Happy Trails. The mission of that is to create a place where anyone, everyone can utilize the trail system without fear. The vision of that group is to install these smart poles at periodic intervals throughout the trail system. They would be equipped with cameras, a call button, like the blue buttons you see on college campuses. Some detectors that, interestingly enough, the technology is really increasing on scream detection. So they're taking gunshot detectors, and that we've all heard of, and they're starting to really refine the algorithms on those to be able to detect screams, which is a fabulous thing if it can actually, if it can be refined and get effective for just a case like this. So she approached us with the part of the nonprofit they approached and basically demonstrated how to be an effective activist, to really make people want to help you, not point fingers. It was just great people. I digress. This project also involves City of Fort Worth Police Department. We have to make sure the City of Fort Worth has primary jurisdiction responsibility for public safety along the Trinity Trail system. So through meetings with the Real-Time Crime Center, the City of Fort Worth PD, they are willing to entertain this idea as well. So the first phase of this is to install one of these poles at the Real-Time Crime Center, where they can put up the smart poles, they're called, where they can begin to experiment utilizing their cameras on there so that they're all interconnected with their system, utilize their cameras on there, and really see how well things work. Parallel to that, there will be one installed out on the Clear Fork near Shannon's Point that the district will begin to see how well it works in a solar power capacity. This is where we get to the parallel part. Parallel to that, at the direction of some of the board, we are looking at experimenting with 5 different solar solutions, actually 5 different lighting solutions, I think 4 of which are solar and 1 is powered, to see is there a way to create some form of lighting on certain safety loops on the trail system that would be illuminated, and this is an important part, during trail operating hours. You would still have dark time, but during the trail operating hours would be illuminated. So we've installed 5 poles out there so far, and are beginning to install the equipment to begin to look at, is this reasonable? One of the issues that has come up and will come up additionally has to do with light trespass and black sky initiatives, and we are very committed to making sure that we are compliant with black sky initiatives. We will, on dark nights, we will actually send a drone up to do some analysis to just truly verify any light trespass is occurring off of the floodway. So with that, that's ongoing. We hope to bring back a report to you in September or October related to the lighting and what we recommend on the lighting. One of the lighting options is on Clear World's smart pole. but it doesn't necessarily mean that all lighting would be clear world or not clear world. That's why we're doing the evaluation. So back to the donation. The nonprofit raised $35,000 and partnered with Clear World to get these 2 initial poles on the system in the testing. We have to come to you to ask for your acceptance of this donation. And secondly, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce Jessica Arnold, who's sitting to my right, on the far end, who is the founder of Safe and Happy Trails. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Daryl, I think this is a great.
Go ahead,
Daryl, I think this is a great partnership. How much do these light poles cost individually?
We're getting 2 for $35,000. My assumption is somewhere 17 to 20,000 a piece.
Well, I think safety on the trail is important. I think this study and partnership's a great way to explore some solutions.
So, Daryl, are these 2 poles that are being donated, or that they're part of the larger lighting test setup, or are they going to be, and they're going to be placed, I guess, in a testing area, and then they're going to be moved or repositioned later, or are they going to be once they get put, that's where they're going to stay?
We will be testing. The Clear World's lighting solution will be part of the testing, and while that testing of the lighting is going on, we'll also be testing some of the technology on the Clear World smart pole, on the floodway, and at the real-time crime center.
Okay.
They have one that's on site there where they have quick access to it for their IT and physical security guys to get out and work and make adjustments and do the fine-tuning to make sure that this thing truly communicates real world, real time, and is fail-safe. Because what you don't want to do is put something out there that doesn't work. So we're very committed to working with City Fort Worth PD to make sure that this solution is viable and will be a long-term solution. Who knows what the future holds? Once the pilot project is over, then we will come back to the board with some recommendations for the lighting project. And at the same time, you'll be reviewing the recreation master plan that will include some of that. Security and lighting is kind of at the top of the list within the strategic initiatives for the recreation master plan. So the poles right now, you'll see a hodgepodge of poles out there on Shannon's Point, and that's intentional because we're testing 5 different poles. But we would coalesce to one solution, and that's what would be installed along the trail system. Every pole will not be a smart pole. They would be periodic, and that's one of the things they're trying to figure out, what is the radius of the detection and a realistic radius. We've installed the 911 signs, and that works fine as long as you can make communication. When your phone's ripped from your hand and thrown in the river, those don't help. They have been used in emergency responses on a number of occasions, but this is just another layer. There's no silver bullet. It takes layers and layers and layers to stay ahead of the bad guys.
What other communities have these poles installed?
I don't have that information. I'll get that back.
Okay, yeah, it would be good to see just what their experience has been with them, as you all are doing your analysis to see, how it compares. I would expect that this is a technology that's quickly changing and being updated, and so also just in consideration on what it would take for maintenance and upgrades, and if what we end up with a solution has the ability to be upgraded in a tech fashion versus completely removing and reinstalling poles. So just some thoughts there.
Our Chief of Police, David Geary, has all that information. He's spearheading this effort.
Right.
He's on a much-deserved vacation right now in Steamboat Springs, and I hate him for that. But he's recovered from the 4th of July and all the shenanigans on Eagle Mountain Lake.
Yeah. Well, like you, I would like to just say, thank you that sometimes out of the hardest things, something really valuable and important, and to have the wherewithal to be able to think about others in the midst of, a tragic situation is incredibly generous.
And I just want to add on to Leah's and recognize you. I'd like for us to recognize you and thank you for your selflessness. And hopefully this will start a whole new wave in helping keep others safe. So can we have a little round
Yes,
of
please.
applause?
Thank you.
Let's make it official. I'd like to move for approval on agenda item 9.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, staff updates, water resources and planning update. Rachel.
Good morning.